Hi everyone. I've come your way again. Today we'll be looking at why is Agile struggling to take root in Nigerian tech and banking sectors. So we'll be looking at some few reasons why Agile is still struggling to take root in Nigerian tech and banking sectors. Well, how do I put it now? Okay, let me begin with a bold truth. A very bold truth. Agile is not a methodology, it's a mindset. And mindset don't change with memos. We're in a region brimming with innovation, entrepreneurial brilliance, and tech-savvy talent. Yet when it comes to true agile adoption, especially in our tech firms, home banks, and some corporate sectors, we often find ourselves stuck in first gear, running agile ceremonies within waterfall realities. It's very wrong. Today, I want to challenge that inaction by speaking of some reasons why Agile continues to struggle for a real adoption in our ecosystem. And more importantly, what we must confront to change that. Now, let me put it this way. So at the heart of Agile is trust in the team. Trust. Trust. For many Nigerian firms are still driven by top-heavy decision-making. Junior developers wait for management sign-offs on even the smallest changes. Product teams can't pivot or cannot even pivot because innovation is filtered through the years of through layers of red tape. What happens to Agile? Agile dies in such environments. Agile is uncomfortable, very, very. So what it does is that it asks leaders to give up control and empower teams. That's very scary, especially in institutions that equate hierarchy with stability, right? So the Agile Manifesto says responding to change over following a plan. But for many executives, change is chaos, not opportunity. And far too often, let me put it that way, far too often, Agile is reduced to just a few Jira tickets and probably a daily stand-ups. The depth of Agile from backlog refinement to servant leadership is missing already, right? So we try to train Scrum Masters, product owners, and Agile coaches. What does happen? What happens to the team? The team flounder and fall back to their old habits. Agile thrives in a nimble environment. But many of our systems are legacy bound, decades old architectures, clunky ERP systems, or compliance heavy structures. All these things don't just resist Agile, they repel it. Trying to sprint with concrete shoes. It doesn't get you far. But here is the kicker. You can't fund Agile project with waterfall metrics. Many Nigerian organizations will still reward scope delivery over work, maybe value delivery. They fund projects based on rigid timelines, fixed outputs, not iterative learning or customer feedback. What happens to Agile in this kind of stuff? Agile gets choked out by misaligned incentives. So if we want Nigerian businesses to compete on a global digital stage, Agile is not optional, it's critical. But adopting it means more than hiring a Scrum Master. It requires a re-engineering how we think, how we fund, and how we lead, and even measure success. But the future belongs to those who can learn, who can unlearn, and iterate fast. So let me leave you with this. You don't go agile. Don't just go agile. You become agile. And becoming agile starts with what? Courage. And that's the courage to change. Thank you so very much. See you next time again when I come your way. Bye.